The Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, has denied reports that it plans to destroy over 6 million unclaimed permanent voters' cards. The Commission described the report as incorrect, maintaining that it never contemplated destroying uncollected PVCs. In the said report, it was claimed that the Commission is contemplating a policy to withdraw and destroy PVCs that remain uncollected for a decade. The report said the recommendation was among 208 proposals arising from the Commission's review of the 2023 general elections. It was said the move stemmed from the persistent issue of unclaimed PVCs, with over 6 million cards still uncollected as of the 2023 elections, including many issued as far back as 2015. The low rate of PVC collection and other related challenges are illustrative of the problem of processing and managing voters in Nigeria. To increase the rate of collections of PVC, the Commission implemented a policy that made it possible for voters to collect their PVCs online and subsequently pick them up. Several CSOs supported the Commission drives to increase PVCs collection by working with Inec, states, and the FCT officers to record all uncollected PVCs and to inform their owners where and how to collect them, the report claimed. Comrade Onem, I'm sure you have a voter's card.
Yeah, I do.
And I don't know if it's okay to ask you if it was a difficult one for you before you acquired your PVC, because oftentimes people say the processes are always difficult. You know, sometimes you go and you don't get them, or they might tell you come back in 3 weeks and whatnot. You know, this could actually the results where the voters had to, you know, abandon up to 6 million voters card could be one of those reasons. But I want to get your thought. Do you think that this can also cause the reason why Nigerians often decide to abandon their voters cards, first off? And then for the INEC denying the plans to destroy those voters cards, there could actually be a case where they have made mention of that come and collect a voters card or we dispose of them. You know, do you think that was actually the right way to go about this matter?
Well, I don't think that is the right way to go. But I must tell you that in a way, in every atom, in every information or news you get, there is always an atom of truth
in it.
That aspect cannot be completely jettisoned. The truth of the matter is that if you look at the way election is being conducted in Nigeria, I'm talking about one of the discouraging factors.
Okay.
You will tend to believe with me that so many persons has lost hope. So many persons has lost interest in the electoral process of this country.
So do you think that's one of the reasons why they will decide to abandon their voters card?
That is one of the reasons.
Okay.
Right? I have a voter's card, but ask me, how many times have I voted? You know how the electoral process in Nigeria is being manipulated.
Okay.
I have my voter's card, but I can't tell you the number of times that I have used that voter's card, if not for banking transaction and other activities. So some persons felt that there is no need, you know, getting it, because they are telling you that even if you vote me or you don't vote me, I will make my way in. So what is the need of getting those things? I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
I have just cited an example. This is Comrade Onem telling you that I don't know the last time I have ever voted, but I have the voter's card with me. So this is one of the critical things that we need to consider. So many persons have lost hope in the electoral process of this country. so many persons are not happy with the way our leaders today has been chosen. We are not the one that elected them. They elected themselves. Sorry to say. Yes, they elected themselves. In an area whereby an election will be characterized by electoral violence, ballot buses snatching, and all of that. How can you then use the voter's card?
So why
now,
apply for a voter's card that you know in turn you would end up not using?
I'm coming.
Okay.
Now look at the last election. They were telling us that there is going to be electoral transfer of result, right? Electronic transfer of result. The set of beavers and all of that. Do you know that on that election day, some persons, some of the Inec officers, deliberately off the beavers?
And self-developed.
Yes.
He had faults.
Thank you. Right? So these are some of the discouraging factors that has made so many persons not to be bothered about, you know, their voters card. But the issue of the collection is also another thing, another factor that has hindered so many persons. Like when I did my own in Academa, I went there so many times before I was able to get it. And when you get there, you see the crowd of persons who were struggling to get their voters card. And if you have something doing, like in the morning, you bathe and go to work and all of that, can you get it? You can't get it, right? You can't get it. So these are some of the things.
So
now,
when do you go to apply and collect your voters card? What are the reasons they give for the delay? Why they have so much crowds? Well, what are the reasons they give that this is why we have not issued your voters cards to you?
So sometimes it's network issue and all of that.
Okay, and do they give dates of when to come back in case if they're disappointed and not given those voters cards at the time people were there to collect them?
Well, as for that, I wouldn't say, because it's been long I collected mine.
Okay.
Right? So I wouldn't say that, except maybe one of their official Inec staffs can give an update of that.
Okay.
I'm not in that position.
I asked you in terms because you said it was the time about scenario you gave about when you go to the Inec office and you see lots of crowds, you know, people wanting to get their voters cards. Also, I asked you the question about if they give reasons why the crowd is so much. You talked about the network problem, and then that's why I was asking if they get to tell you this is when next you have to come to collect your voters card, because 6 million voters cards, these are the ones that they actually accredited. Imagine the numbers of other ones that they could not, you know, put counts.
Well, just like as I said, I don't know if an Inec staff can
come here and answer. Okay.
You understand?
Maybe the question is not for you then. Yeah. No problem. Well, quickly, I would love to ask you about because I asked you about that question of the INEC's plans to destroy those voters' cards. Do you think that was an ideal step to take, since Nigerians decided not to pick up their voters' cards with reasons you have listed here? Do you think that was the right step to take to the issue of those voters' cards that had not been collected by destroying them?
I don't think that would be ideal.
So what do you think should have been done right?
Rather, I think in a voters' card, there are during the registration process, I think, I believe that there are words there, right? It would be ideal if the voters card is taken to the various wards, then proper information is being given to the citizen, you know, within that area. I think that will help. Is if it requires them, I think they have the resources. Taking it from community, as in sending their stamps to those
deliver the ones they have issued, to them.
To those areas, those local communities, I think it will help facilitate the process of, you know, the collection.
Instead of destroying
Instead of
them.
destroying it, because it's not a good one at all.
Okay.
And some persons may have, may misconstrue their intention to maybe rigging, you know, you understand, because they want to like get a particular numbers of voters card so that they can use it to announce the result and all of that.
Oh, really?
Yes, so many persons may have such thoughts.
Okay.
You understand? Yes, because now they've just given us a statistic of about 6 million voters card that they said they are going to destroy, which they are denying today. Now, from here, they will know the total numbers of voters card that we have. Then on the election day, just to use it to decide or announce any result that they have.
So do you think oftentimes, quickly, do you think sometimes they intentionally withhold those voters cards and not release them to the individuals that own them?
For political reason, even this thing that I'm telling you, something that I don't know, you may know it, but you will not want to say it.
Okay,
now,
let me hear.
In the various, you know, words, we have political leaders who can manipulate maybe names of teenagers, you know, their pictures,
okay,
and fabricate this voters card. Do you know that? During the election,
okay,
that is when they will begin to bring them, you know, out. I've seen cases like that. Right?
Okay.
I've seen cases like that. So they can also use it for that. They can also use it for that.
okay.
I have an uncle who is a member of, I think, a critical stakeholder in APC. He has so many voters cards. In fact, some of the persons are dead.
And they use them
And
when
the
elections come up.
You see them, you know, bringing so many voters cards with different names and all of that, you know, just for the purpose of that election. And so that is why I'm saying that sometimes some persons may misconstrue this particular statement that Inec has come to deny, you know, to an attempt of rigging the 2027 election. Because everything in Nigeria is possible.
So are you, would you say that Nigerians, the ones that feel that they've not collected their voters card, that have not collected their voters card, should go and collect in order for this rigging not to come up?
They should go. I will encourage them to go and collect.
And also
But
maybe use particularly for you that said you have not been using it to vote, you actually use it to do other things your bank statements and all of that. You know, they can also use it for those reasons.
Yes, like when they're asking for a way of identification, I can bring my voter's card or national identity card and all of that. So
all right.
that is just it.
Okay.